Left-hander Eric Stoltz making his 6th start this season. Stoltz with a record of 3-1. 1-2 lifetime against the Giants. Lewis working on a modest 3-game hitting streak. Had 2 hits in last night's game. And the second pitch from Stoltz. He misses low and away. 2-0. '74-degree afternoon here in Southern California. The 2-0 from Stoltz. Now 3-0.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do is just walk the first hitter, especially a leadoff guy that tends to swing quite a bit and strikes out quite a bit. You see Stoltz is falling behind. And for him, what's really important is to establish control. He's not a velocity guy. He's a location guy.
Stoltz facing the Giants for the 3rd time this season. 3-1 on Lewis with Edgar Renteria waiting on deck. So it's his 6th start, his 3rd against the Giants. As Lewis fouls it back to the screen in Stoltz's career. This is 20th Major League start, 6 of the 20 against the Giants as we take a look at the sprinter profile.
Well, and for Eric Stoltz to be effective, he's got to get the location. And as I mentioned, he's got to hit his spots. And he's got to keep his defense involved.
After falling behind 3-0, Stoltz comes back and strikes out Lewis. Lewis, 3rd in the National League. He struck out Eric 34 times this season.
Well, and that's the thing. You want to go right after a guy like that. Make him swing the bat.
So 1 away here in the top of the 1st inning as the 5-time All-Star Edgar Renteria steps in. Renteria, the Giants' shortstop, 2 hits, drove in a run last night. Giants won the game 3-1 behind Barry Zito. They scored their runs on a pair of sacrifice flies and an infield single.
Well, really, the story for me last night was that man right there, Barry Zito. In his last 4 starts, he has been basically unhittable, and starting to show why he was given that multi-year deal after leaving the Oakland A's. And that's the strength of this San Francisco club will be their pitching.
2-1 now on Renteria. Barry Zito winning for the first time this season, although, as you mentioned, his last 4 starts, earned run average of 1.37. Stoltz missing inside, 3-1.
And talking about Zito and his recent success, having a chance to watch him, it's really been about location. It's not as if the fastball he's throwing it harder, but he's been able to control the curveball. He's been able to work ahead, and he's been able to work to spots on the plate.
The 3-1, Renteria hits it in the air, center field. Kemp backpedaling is under it. 2 away. Let's check out the Dodgers in the field. Pierre in left, Kemp in center, Ethier in right. Around the infield, Loney, Hudson, Castro getting the start today for Call. Blake at 3rd. Russell Martin behind the plate.
And, the Dodgers have really caught the ball well this year. You talk about their offense, but from a fielding standpoint, they've done an exceptional job in the top half of the division in fielding.
So with 2 away, here's the Los Angeles native, Randy Winn. Winn, a switch hitter, batting from the right side against the left-hander Stoltz. Batting just .192 as a right-handed hitter this season. One ball, 1 strike count, 2 outs, top of the 1st inning here in Los Angeles. Left center, long run for Kemp. He looks up, he reaches up, and he makes the catch on the warning track. Matt Kemp taking an extra base hit away from Randy Winn. Stadium. After Eric Stoltz retired the Giants in order, the Dodgers batting order brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Juan Pierre will lead off, followed by Orlando Hudson. Andre Ethier bats third. Matt Kemp in the cleanup spot, followed by the catcher Russell Martin. The first baseman James Loney hits sixth. Bottom of the order, Casey Blake, Juan Castro, and Eric Stoltz, as the Dodgers get set to face 26-year-old left-hander Jonathan Sanchez for the second time this season.
Well, Sanchez is a lefty. He's going to come right at you. Very good arm, decent breaking ball. You know, for him, he just has to be able to get the ball over the plate. You know, he's run into some trouble where he gets a bit erratic, gets behind hitters, and you see that you talk about what he needs to do, and it's really be efficient. You know, you don't want to waste pitches. You've got to be more economical, and you've got to work that fastball. He throws 93, 94.
The sprint pitcher profile for Jonathan Sanchez as Juan Pierre takes a called strike. Sanchez a record of 1-2 in 4 starts. Went 9-12 for the Giants last season. The 0-1 to Pierre. Off the glove of Sanchez. And Pierre is on, takes a wide turn, heading for second.
You don't see that very often, a double off of the pitcher's glove. Now Juan Pierre shoots it right back up the middle. You see it gets by Uribe, and Juan Pierre from the left side hustling all the way. And he recognizes the ball getting away, and he never stops. You watch first base coach Mariano Duncan pointing. Pierre's got second base in his mind from the get-go. Now Hudson's job to get him to third.
So an infield double for the Dodgers leadoff man Juan Pierre. Here's Orlando Hudson. Comes in with a batting average of .333, ninth in the National League. He's third in the league in runs, tied for the league lead in hits, and is seventh in walks.
Well, he's been a great acquisition. Ned Colletti, really waited out everybody, and Orlando Hudson was still there right before spring training, signed him to a 1-year deal, and he got an all-star player at a bargain basement price.
With the corner infielders in on the edge of the grass, Hudson takes ball 2.
Now this is interesting here. You've got him squaring to bunt. You're talking about one of the better hitters. But I think this is what you're going to see with the Dodger offense in the absence of Manny Ramirez. It's about manufacturing runs, getting guys in, taking advantage of opportunities, because they're not the same offense, obviously, with Manny not in the lineup.
Swinging away and a base hit into left field past the diving Uribe. Pierre holding at third. Dodgers have runners on the corners with nobody out.
Well, by showing bunt, he's drawn the third baseman Uribe in. He's worked himself to a 2-0 count, which is a hitter's count, and then he just grounds the ball past Uribe. Now look where he is. You see Uribe? He's in on the grass. And he's in because Hudson has shown bunt, which is what he was going to do until he worked the count to his favor. Now the Dodgers have an opportunity, instead of playing for 1 run, can play for the multi-run inning.
And in the 2 games without Ramirez, Eric, Dodgers exploded for 6 runs in the first inning against the Nationals on Thursday in their first game without Manny. But since that 6-run first, only 4 runs over their last 17 innings, including just 1 last night.
Well, interesting. I had a chance to speak with Hall of Fame manager Tommy Lasorda of the Dodgers, and he said, the bad thing about scoring 6 runs in the first inning is you give the other team the entire game to come back. And you think about it, he was right on, and that's what the Nationals ended up doing.
First and third, nobody out. The 1-0 to Ethier. Fastball missing low and inside. Ball 2. The first inning has been the Dodgers' best offensive inning this season. They have scored 34 first inning runs. Fouled off to the right side. And they have outscored their opponents in the first inning by 21 runs.
Well, and that's with Manny Ramirez hitting third, and not necessarily him doing damage, but him continuing the inning. I mean, when you talk about damage and production, this is the man at the plate, Andre Ethier, that has really got off to a hot start. been driving in runs, hitting home runs. Really been a compliment to Manny Ramirez.
Fastball missing inside. 3-1. Ethier tied with Ramirez for the team lead with 6 home runs. He leads the Dodgers with 27 runs batted in. There's number 27, Matt Kemp, waiting on deck.
Yeah, you see Sanchez on the mound. You know, he's done exactly what Giant fans are worried about. He gets behind in the count. He's got to throw to hitters' counts. Gives the advantage to the offense.
Broken bat, ground ball for the shortstop, Renteria. The toss to second for 1, on to first. Double play. Coming home is Pierre. The Dodgers take a 1-0 lead as Pierre scores on the double play ball off the bat of Ethier.
Yeah, the Dodgers will take the run, but when you're up at the plate, men on first and third, and as a hitter, you've got a 3-1 situation. You've got to get a better pitch than that. That pitch was low and away. It's not a pitch that Ethier has been swinging at over this first month and a half, and that's something that he's really going to have to be patient with Manny not being behind him.
So with the bases empty, 2 outs, here's Matt Kemp. First pitch, fly ball right field. Randy Wynn makes the catch, and that will do it for the Dodgers. They hope for more, but they do get a run as Sanchez shakes his head. 1-0 LA. Taco Bell, think outside the bun. Sponsored by Sprint. Get more done with Nextel Direct Connect only on the Now Network. And by One A Day Men's, the official multivitamin of Major League Baseball, specially formulated to support prostate health. Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, Chris Rose with us today here in Los Angeles. Second inning. Dodgers lead the Giants 1-0. As Benji Molina leads off. First pitch. Popped into right. Ethier waiting. Finally comes down, 1 away. Well, Eric, today's FoxSports.com poll question: should Manny Ramirez play in the 2009 All-Star Game if he is elected or selected? Log on to FoxSports.com to vote. Manny is one of 48 National League outfielders listed on the ballot. Balloting got underway back on April 22nd. The first National League results will be released on Tuesday, May 26th. So it will be interesting to follow the court of public opinion as far as the All-Star balloting goes in the National League.
Well, if LA fans have anything to say about it, which they will, I think you'll see him in the All-Star game. I mean, the sentiment around, this city is hey, we can't wait to get Manny back. He admitted his mistake. And he's that fun-loving guy out here, that you really just, he's a lovable guy. And that's the way that the fans have embraced him.
The 1-1 to Aaron Rowand. Stoltz missing away, 2-1. And as Ken Rosenthal reported on our pregame show, if the fans elect Manny, he would start. His suspension, of course, will be over on July 3rd, barring any rainouts. Prior to then, Rowand, center field, Kemp, 2 outs. So Manny is on the ballot. He is eligible. And, of course, if he is not elected by the fans, as you check out the Dodgers' numbers over the last season plus, with and without Manny, there are 3 ways you could wind up on the field at the All-Star game. If you're elected in by the fans, chosen in player balloting, or picked by Phillies manager Charlie Manuel, who, of course, is a former coach and in both the major leagues and the minor leagues. He managed Manny in the minor league system with the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, I think really the only way he gets in is through fan vote. Just because he won't have had the amount of games, been able to put up the numbers, which I believe is fair, that some of the other guys will have had the opportunity to do.
Well, I agree. I think we would only see him if he is elected by the fans. Rich Aurelia making his 9th start at first base today for the Giants. Batting .189 in 14 games, falls behind 0-2.
See, Rich, nice and clean shaven. I was joking about it today. He had the beard. He said he got on the team bus the other day, and the bus driver asked him if he was trying to look like a coach. All gray and bearded, and he said, I'm not ready for that yet, so trying to go for that more youthful look.
A clean-shaven Rich Aurelia, 37 years of age, his 14th major league season. 1-2 from Stoltz. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
A great year a number of years ago as the Giants shortstop on those teams with Barry Bonds and Jeff Kent. Hit 37 home runs. Now he's a platoon guy. Will fill in at first, fill in at third, but
Aurelia down on strikes. Second consecutive 1-2-3 inning for Eric Stoltz. Presented by Taco Bell, is sponsored by Bud Light Lime. The drinkability of Bud Light with the refreshing taste of lime. Bottom of the second inning here in Los Angeles. Dodgers leading the Giants 1-0. Russell Martin, James Loney, Casey Blake for the Dodgers here in the second against Jonathan Sanchez. Martin has raised the average up to 267 after a slow start. Fastball missing high. Ball 1.
Yeah, and I think he's one of the keys with this absence of Manny Ramirez as far as producing offensively. He hasn't really got going. He's been swinging the bat a bit better. But from a power standpoint, driving in runs, he hasn't got to the point where he will eventually be. He and James Loney, I think, two key pieces to this offense.
Sanchez falls behind 3-0. Martin 7 hits his last 11 at bats. James Loney waiting on deck, and then Casey Blake. Fastball in for a called strike, 3-1. The first two Dodgers reached in the first inning. And now Martin draws the leadoff walk. Well, this season, fans can use Twitter to stay connected to Fox Baseball. Followers will receive alerts to original video and columns posted at foxsports.com, backstage photos, and insights from Fox's MLB announcers as we tweet throughout the week. Follow us at twitter.com/MLB on Fox. A look at Eric's post regarding his sons who were out here at the game last night.
Yep. Brought them out. Fireworks night. Saw the Giants win the game 3-1.
Kids had a good time?
They did. They did. They were excited to come out here and get to be around a big league atmosphere. Two real good teams right now. I think that's the thing, too, about with the absence of Manny. What it's done is it's given the other clubs in the division, especially a team like the Giants, some hope. Because I think the way that the Dodgers have been playing, and the other teams just look like, man, oh, man, there's no way we're going to catch these guys. But now that Manny's gone, they feel like, hey, look, we're going to make up some ground. We can do some things now.
0-2 on Loney, and the big story, of course, until the suspension was announced on Thursday, was the Dodgers' great start here at home. Dodgers won their first 13 home games, breaking the record set by the 1911 Detroit Tigers, who won their first 12 home games. The 0-2 to Loney. Uribe to second, over to first, not in time.
Well, a great play by Jose Uribe over at third base. Makes a nice backhanded play. A good feed to the second baseman. And Russell Martin, a good hard slide into second base. Watch Uribe make the throw. Now watch Martin come in hard. And it's not a dirty. Right at second base, coming in, takes out the second baseman. Just a good hard slide. There you see Burris right there making a nice turn, hanging in there.
So one away. Loney takes his lead off first. Here's Casey Blake. Drove in the Dodgers' only run last night. Blake had some long at-bats last night. Fouled off 17 pitches in the game. Including an 8th inning duel with Brian Wilson. A 13-pitch at-bat. Blake fouled off 6 in a row with a full count.
Yeah, it really was a great at-bat. Eventually ended up looking at a called third strike. He was heading down to first, thought it was ball 4. Sam Holbrook behind the plate called it a strike. But just the fact that he was able to prolong the at-bat, able to battle up there, saw a lot of pitches. A great duel between two good players, Wilson and Blake.
Two-time academic All-American at Wichita State University. Now 3-1.
See Juan Castro on deck filling in for Call today.
Fastball missing inside. Second walk issued this inning by Sanchez. It has been an eventful week for Casey Blake. We take you back to the game against Arizona on Monday when Casey lined into a triple play.
Yeah, the runners were moving Russell Martin and Matt Kemp on first and second. Not really much you could do. Hit a line shot to the shortstop, who really could have made an unassisted triple play. All he had to do was go over, touch second, and tag Matt Kemp, who was running from first at second base. Would have been in the record books.
Here's Juan Castro with 2 on, 1 out. Despite the triple play turned by the Diamondbacks, the Dodgers did win that game. That was the 11th of their 13 consecutive home wins to start the season. The last National League team to win their first 10 at home, the 83 Braves, managed by Joe Torre.
Yep. Yeah, Joe said he didn't even remember that. Talked to him about it.
And the 83 Braves did not win their division. Finished in second to the Dodgers. Dan Iasonia working behind the plate today. Charlie Relaford, the crew chief at first. Larry Vanover at second. Sam Holbrook is the third base umpire. First and second, 1 out. The 1-1 to Castro fouls it back. Juan, a former teammate of yours with the Dodgers. He made his major league debut back in 1995. Spent his first 9 professional seasons in the Dodgers organization.
Well, you talk about triple plays. He was part of a triple play against the Atlanta Braves. He, Delino DeShields, myself were a part of that. But Juan Castro has made a career with his glove. And one of the best fielders I've ever run across.
The 1-2 to Castro. In the gap, left center. A diving attempt by Lewis, but it gets by him. Coming in to score is Loney. And the Dodgers take a 2-0 lead. Second run batted in of the season for Juan Castro, making a rare start, only his 4th start. And he comes through here in the second inning.
Well, this is just a ball left out over the plate. You see Fred Lewis making a good effort. Aaron Rowan backing up. See, just out of the outstretched glove. Aaron Rowan, again, doing a nice job. Gets the ball in, prevents 2 runs from scoring. Again, you go back to Jonathan Sanchez. And what's got him into trouble this inning? The 2 walks.
Second and third with 1 out for the pitcher, Eric Stultz. Stultz this season 0 for 7. Fastball missing inside, ball 1.
0 for 7, but did have a sacrifice fly in his last start. It's proven that he can handle the bat. Right now, all he's looking to do is put some contact.
Dave Righetti, Giants pitching coach, out for a visit with Sanchez.
Again, this guy, he's got great stuff. I mean, as evidenced by the ERA under 4. He's got a live arm. You know, he's just looking for that location. He hasn't been able to establish a consistent arm slot. He's erratic. You know, and just in this early part of the game, 3-1, 2-0, gets behind. And not only does that put him in a tough position where he has to pitch to the hitter, but then it puts his fielders in a tough position in that they're just standing around out there. Got to keep your team involved by throwing strikes.
Infielders playing in. Fastball in for a called strike. 1-1 on Stultz. Blake, the runner on third. Castro, who doubled in a run, takes his lead off second. Dodgers with a run in each of the first 2 innings, looking for more. Sanchez missing away, 2-1.
Well, and this doesn't bode well. You see the infield playing in, and it's still early in the game, but the reality is this offense, or lack of offense the Giants have, they just can't afford to get behind by 3, 4, 5 runs because they just haven't displayed the ability to come back at all this year.
This is the 4th time Sanchez has gone to a 3-ball count, first time through the order. The 3-1, Stoltz swinging away. Bobbled by Aurelia. Runners hold. He tags out Stoltz for out number 2.
Well, a nice job by Rich Aurelia keeping the ball in front of him. When the ball's hit at him, he initially starts with a charge. He keeps it in front of him. Because the infield is playing in, the runners aren't going on contact. And as he keeps the ball in front of him, he looks at the runner at third base to see if he is running. Does it, and then makes the out. Sanchez has a chance to get out of this inning relatively unscathed.
Fastball missing inside to Juan Pierre. Sanchez got out of the first relatively unscathed after Pierre led off with a double off the glove of Sanchez. Hudson singled, so the Dodgers had first and third with nobody out on the first and scored only 1 run thanks to a double play ball. Another fastball missing inside, 2-0.
And here we go again. It's the same pattern for each hitter, and it doesn't matter if it's the pitcher, if it's a leadoff hitter, if it's a middle of the order guy. Sanchez immediately falls behind, and as we said, he's got out of it so far. But if he continues to do this, eventually he's going to get burned.
He's thrown a first pitch strike to only 3 of the 10 Dodger batters so far today. Blake on third, Castro on at second. 2 outs, bottom of the 2nd inning. Another fastball inside, 3-1. Orlando Hudson waiting on deck. Should Pierre reach? Full count.
That's a good job by Juan Pierre. I mean, although that pitch was a strike, it's not a pitch that he was looking for, not a pitch that he was comfortable swinging at. He's still in a position of power in that it's 3-2. Sanchez hasn't been able to find the plate.
Payoff pitch to Pierre, a base hit. And it rolls past Lewis, then kicked by Rowand. Pierre in at third, standing. Pierre drives in 2. Dodgers now lead 4-0.
Again, Juan Pierre working the count to a 3-2 count, gets the ball up that he can drive. Again, comfortable enough as a hitter to take that 3-1 pitch. You see the ball's kicked around. With his speed, he's going all the way. And, you really can't say enough about what Juan Pierre has done so far this season. Signed here as a free agent a few years ago, hasn't had an opportunity to play much this year. With Manny in left field, has kept his mouth shut. And all he's done is when he's had the opportunity, he's gone out and produced. Hitting over 400 now, stealing bases, been the consummate professional.
One and one now on Hudson. So second double in 2 innings for Juan Pierre. Moved to third on an error charge to the center fielder Rowand. RBIs number 4 and 5 on the season for Pierre. Burris on to first. Dodgers score 3 in the second. Will return after these messages from your local Fox station.
1st, his 11th of the year, giving him a Major League Best 41 ribs. Tampa's up 2-zip. Remember to follow your favorite MLB team only on DirecTV. Back to Kenny and Eric.
All right, thanks very much, Chris. Juan Uribe swinging at the first pitch from Stoltz. Grounds out to the first baseman, Loney. And Stoltz has retired the first 7 Giants he has faced today.
You know, and this is something at least the Giant offense can help their pitcher by taking a few pitches, giving him a time to get some rest. I mean, he was just out there laboring, hasn't been able to find any type of rhythm, gets in the dugout, and then what's Juan Uribe doing? Swinging at the very first pitch. I mean, these are things that you can help your defense, you can help your pitcher. Not helping him there.
So with one away, here's the second baseman, Emmanuel Burris. 2 hits in last night's game for Burris, 7 for his last 15. Former first-round draft pick out of Kent State. In for a strike, 1-1. So the Giants have fallen behind 4-0. Not good news for a team that has trouble scoring runs. Giants are last in the National League in runs, 12th in batting average, 15th in hits, and last in home runs with only 16. Loney makes the play for out number 2. Well, tonight NASCAR on Fox goes under the lights in Darlington, South Carolina, where Kyle Busch will try and defend his title against a full field of the world's best drivers. Coverage of Sprint Cup Series racing from Darlington begins tonight at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific in high definition right here on Fox. You had a look at a native of Darlington, South Carolina. Dodgers second baseman Orlando Hudson. 1-1 now on Sanchez, who is 0 for 6 this season with 4 strikeouts. Still lives in Darlington during the offseason. He was the honorary starter back in 2004 at a NASCAR Truck Series race in his hometown.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, you know, what a great acquisition for the Dodgers. And, you know, not only his ability on the field, but what he brings in the clubhouse. I mean, he's exactly what this club needed.
Sanchez gets the bat on it. Castro, the shortstop. Another 1-2-3 inning. An 8-pitch third for Eric Stoltz. Giants 4-0. A run in the first, 3 in the second. And the heart of the order due up here in the third. Andre Ethier will lead off. He'll be followed by Matt Kemp and Russell Martin. Ethier grounded into a double play his first time up. Scoring Pierre from third. Came up with runners on first and third and nobody out in the first inning. Good start for Sanchez. Ethier behind 0-2.
Yeah, uncharacteristic, but this is how Sanchez has to work. He has to work ahead.
Strikes out Ethier on 3 pitches. As we check in downstairs with Chris Rose. Chris?
Yeah, Kenny, a much better first at bat this inning for Giants pitcher Jonathan Sanchez. Bruce Bochy kind of felt like he was being squeezed in the second inning and was chirping a little bit in the direction of home plate umpire Dan Iasonia. After the bottom of the second, he went over to his catcher Benji Molina, and he said, "Where were those pitches?" And Molina pretty much indicated they were strikes. And so Bruce Bochy was giving Dan Iasonia an earful and obviously worked out okay for the first batter.
All right, thanks, Chris. Here's Matt Kemp. Sanchez wound up throwing 31 pitches in that second inning that Chris was referring to.
Well, it's tough because if you're not showing any kind of control or location, as a pitcher, you're not going to get those close ones. You're not going to get the benefit of the doubt. And it's almost as if you have to earn that from the umpire. And quite frankly, Jonathan Sanchez has not earned that yet.
Sanchez, in his 4th major league season, spent the first 2 years primarily coming out of the pen. Made 4 starts each season. 2-1 now on Kemp. Started 29 games for the Giants last year. Averaged a strikeout per inning. Finished with a record of 9-12. Now 3-1. This season, Sanchez, like most of his mates in the rotation, with the exception of Tim Lincecum, has suffered from a lack of run support. In fact, Sanchez is last in the National League, and he's fallen behind today 4-0. Uribe, the third baseman, fires across for out number 2.
Well, that's the thing. You look at the ERA, and it's 3.8. And you think, okay, well, the guy should have a decent win-loss record. But again, as you mentioned, no run support. But that's it. You know, it's not just lying on the offense. I mean, again, when you're standing around out there, when your pitcher's going ball 1, ball 2, and the game isn't crisp, it's not quick, there's no real pace to it, that impacts every part of the game, defense and offense.
Russell Martin takes ball 1. Martin walked his first time up. Martin went around 1-1.
And you see the velocity today for Sanchez isn't what it normally is. It's 88, 89, and he's usually at 92, 93. I don't know if that's some sort of physical issue or if he's trying to aim the ball and not let it go because he hasn't had his control. But this isn't the typical Sanchez.
Fastball missing away, 2-1. Two balls, 2 strikes. The other thing about Sanchez, his home road splits this season. He is not allowed to run at home in 11 2/3 innings on the road. Coming into the game today, 9 earned runs in 9 2/3, and he's already given up 4 today.
Yeah, it just hasn't been able to get that success on the road. You know, and there's just always a number of reasons. Just from a comfort standpoint, from a routine, as far as what you do at home, you're acclimated, you know exactly what you do. When you're on the road, you're in different stadiums, different cities, different time zones. And it all plays a part.
Time called by the home plate umpire, Iasonia. Two outs, bottom of the third inning. The payoff pitch to Martin. And Russell Martin draws a 2-out walk. It's the third walk issued by Sanchez today.
And watching Sanchez, I mean, he just has had no direction with the fastball. I mean, with his strikeouts or even the outs that he's recorded, he's done it with the off speed. He struck out Ethier earlier on curveballs. He got Matt Kemp to go after some breaking pitches, even Russell Martin. But when he's had to go to his fastball, just has had no velocity and has had no location.
He walked 6 in his last start Monday at Wrigley. Lasted only 4 innings in that game. So with Martin on first, 2 outs, here's James Loney. Grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up. Loney without a home run so far this season in 31 games. Last year, 13 home runs. Drove in a team-high 90. The only other team without a home run from a first baseman this season, the San Francisco Giants.
Well, the Dodgers can absorb that when their lineup is whole. That means including Manny Ramirez. You know, Loney, a Mark Grace type, going to spray the ball all over the field. A good glove man. See Ishikawa there, the first baseman that platoons with Rich Aurelia, San Francisco. There's Rich. But again, now that Manny's out, I mean, Loney is going to have to provide some power production. And he's got that. He's shown that the last few years. Just hasn't been able to unleash it yet this year. And it will come. When you try to hit home runs, if you're going up there and you're aware of it, you're thinking, okay, I've got to hit one today, I've got it. You just dig yourself a deeper hole as a hitter.
Molina faked the throw down to first. 1 ball, 2 strike count on James Loney with 2 outs, bottom of the 3rd inning. Dodgers leading the Giants 4-0. Look at Eric Stoltz, who has retired the first 9 Giants he has faced this afternoon. Martin goes, the 1-2, no throw from Molina.
Well, Russell Martin getting a great jump. You see Aurelia not even holding him on. It really just takes off on first move. Molina not even offering a throw. Chance for James Loney to add to that RBI total.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Sanchez missing low and away, full count, as Sanchez has gone to a 3-ball count for the 8th time over the first 3 innings.
And you see, going with the fastball again and really not having any kind of command. And with first base open right now, a 3-2 situation, the inability to throw a fastball for a strike. If I'm Sanchez, I'm Molina, I'm throwing an off-speed pitch, curveball.
Sanchez catches the outside corner, strike 3 called. 3 innings in the books, 4-0 Dodgers. Presented by Taco Bell is sponsored by Valspar Paint. Valspar, the beauty goes on. By Zantac, heartburn, attack it. Zantac. And by the new Hyundai Genesis. It all starts with this. Top of the fourth inning here at Dodger Stadium. In just a moment, you will hear from the Dodgers skipper, Joe Torre. His Dodgers lead the Giants 4-0. Top of the order for San Francisco, Fred Lewis, who struck out leading off the game for the 34th time this season. Third most in the National League. 1-1 now on Lewis. He'll be followed by Edgar Renteria and then Randy Winn.
Well, and you see the batting average. You look at it, Fred Lewis, 309, and you think, wow, that's great. What a year he's having. But the fact that he's got so many strikeouts, and a man with his type of speed, I mean, really is wasting his talent. At the very least, of those 30-whatever strikeouts, I mean, put the ball in play. Give yourself a chance to get down to first base. Make the defense have to make a play. But by striking out, you're not helping your cause at all.
A couple of things. You mentioned put the ball in play. When he puts the ball in play this season, he's batting .483.
Yeah, I mean, it's a staggering number. But you know what's interesting about that is, you know, I always go back, well, the balls, when I hit the ball over the fence, that was a home run. Well, I mean, the reality is he doesn't put the ball in play. That's just not his game.
And the other thing is, you talk about his speed, no steals over the last 18 games.
Hey, and how many times you've seen him steal first? Exactly. I mean, and that's the point. You've got to make contact at the leadoff spot.
Payoff pitch. He puts this ball in play and flies out to the left fielder, Juan Pierre. We spoke between innings with the manager of the Dodgers, Joe Torre. Joe, what has your message been to the team with regard to the absence of Manny now over the next 6 weeks?
Well, you know, Kenny, it's no different really in a lot of ways from having someone injured and be on a disabled list. He's not here. He can't help us, and you know, we can't be feeling sorry for ourselves because everybody will run over the top of us. So basically, is, you know, don't try to do more than you're capable. Just continue to work hard.
Joe, talk a little bit about what Juan Pierre has done for this ball club, the role he accepted out of spring training, and now the role he's been thrust into.
Yeah, Eric, you know, easier this year than last year for him. He just didn't feel last year that it was fair that he was sitting on the bench. I think with Manny being that other guy this year, he certainly accepted the role. And you know, I'm around him here for a little over a year, and I come to spring training like a 6:45, 6:45 in the morning. I'm at the ballpark, and he's already there in the workout room. This kid has a work ethic I've never seen, and he just continues to be a true professional and help us off the bench whenever we can. And now he's getting his opportunity to be that regular player again.
Thanks very much, Joe. Best of luck.
Thanks, guys.
And Juan Pierre has been the spark plug for the Dodgers today. Led off the bottom of the first with a double off the glove of the pitcher Sanchez. Came around to score and then doubled in 2 more runs in the second inning.
You really can't say enough about what he's done. And again, a lot of guys, when not given the opportunity to play, sulk.
Full count now, 3-2 on Renteria.
But what he's done is he's taken it as a challenge. And every time he's gone out or been given an opportunity to play, he's been successful. So then that puts pressure on the manager of having to play the kid.
And Juan Pierre, a guy who prior to last season did not remember what it was like to sit. He played in every game 5 consecutive seasons.
Yeah, and when he was signed here by the Dodgers, he was signed to play center field. And, you know, he went out and had typical Juan Pierre-like seasons. It wasn't as if he just all of a sudden had a bad year.
Broken bat, right into the glove of Hudson. Part of Renteria's bat wound up in the 4th row behind the Dodgers dugout.
You see the bat just shatters and goes into the stands and made contact with one of the fans.
Looked like it hit him in the right shoulder area. So Eric Stultz has retired the first 11. Make it 12 as Wynn grounds out to the shortstop, Juan Castro. And Howard's first 4 seasons in the major leagues.
No, a great start. He's one of the few ball players. You talk about good or great offensive players, but then you have another level, and those are the types of guys that can carry a ball club. And he's one of those guys, one of the great young superstars in the game today.
Phillies 15-12. First place in the National League East. Coming up momentarily, you'll hear from the manager of the San Francisco Giants, Bruce Bochy. Giants trail the Dodgers 4-0. Casey Blake walked and scored back in the second inning. The 1-1 from Sanchez. Now 2 balls, 1 strike. Sanchez catching the outside corner, 2-2.
Well, you see Sanchez in a hitter's count, going with his off speed. The fastball just has not been there.
Blake sends this one into right field. Randy Wynn is under it. 1 away. As we've discussed this afternoon, the Giants have been challenged offensively, and we asked manager Bruce Bochy what his club needs to do, what their mindset needs to be now that they trail this one 4-0.
Well, it is something we've talked about here in the dugout that occasionally we got to come back and pound it with the other club, but we haven't played well. Sanchez is his own worst enemy right now. He's got to pound the strike zone more and hurt himself not catching that comebacker. But we have a lot of game left, so we have to keep grinding here.
Talk about your pitching staff, the top in the National League, and what that means for the rest of the season.
Well, that's our strength, no getting around it. Our starting pitching, they do a great job of keeping us in the ball game. We're trying to let this one get away, but we're still in it. But that's who we feed off of starting pitching and playing close ball games. But occasionally we got to get these bats going, and we're not clicking offensively yet.
Thanks, Bruce. Good luck.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Bruce. And the pitching staff is so key for this club, especially because they don't have any kind of offensive firepower. You see Barry Zito, you see Randy Johnson right there. Tim Lincecum, excuse me. And those are the guys that set the tone.
Juan Castro, left field. Van Ness makes the catch for out number 2.
And these are guys that, whether it's Lincecum, Zito has been absolutely dominant as of late. Matt Cain, see the 3 of them right there. There's Barry. Randy Johnson. If Jonathan Sanchez again can, keep his team involved. There's the big unit right there. He's going to give his club an opportunity to win every single day.
Fastball missing high to Stultz. Ball 1. Giants with 3 former Cy Young Award winners on their staff. Lincecum, of course, winning the National League Cy Young last year. Randy Johnson, Barry Zito, the others.
Now is Randy Johnson the same type of pitcher as he was, years ago? Obviously not. But he still can go out there and give you a consistent performance. Lincecum, as you mentioned, one of the dominant pitchers in the game right now. Matt Cain has the arm to be dominant. Barry Zito throwing effectively. But that's what Giant fans, that's what they have to hope. That's where they think, hey, look, we can be competitive with Manny being out now. The Dodgers are vulnerable.
Randy Johnson with 297 career wins, scheduled to start on Monday against the Washington Nationals, and then again next Saturday right here on Fox against Johan Santana and the New York Mets.
But it's going to be a great matchup, and you're talking about 2 dominant left-handers.
Stultz called out on strikes. The first 1-2-3 inning today for Jonathan Sanchez. Is over the Giants as we move to the 5th. Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, and Chris Rose from Dodger Stadium. Second of a 3-game series. Giants won last night's game 3-1. Giants 2 games over 500 after a slow start. They started the season 2-7, but have gone 13-6 since then as Benji Molina takes a called strike, 0-1. Fastball missing high, 1-1.
Well, and you talk about the offense for the Giants. I mean, this has been the key right here. This is what the offense has revolved around, is Benji Molina.
Molina sends this one into left field. Juan Pierre moving to his right. One away. Getting back to the big unit, who is scheduled to start on Fox against the Mets 1 week from today with 297 career wins. The active leader is Tom Glavine, who's currently on the disabled list with 305. And who will be next? You know, you look behind Randy Johnson. Next on the active list is Jamie Moyer with 249.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that Jamie will be around for 51 more victories.
I don't think so. Rowand well hit into the gap in left center. It's the first base hit, the first base runner for the Giants after Stoltz retired the first 13 Giants today.
This pitch down but out over the plate. Aaron Rowand gets extension and solid clean double to deep center.
And for Aaron Rowand, only his second extra base hit in his last 61 at bats.
Well, and that's the thing, getting back to the offense. You have Rich Aurelia coming up, you know, playing first base. There hasn't been a lot of production there. Aaron Rowand out in center field, you expect to get more from. Randy Wynn, Edgar Renteria starting to swing the bat. So again, there is hope for the San Francisco Giants offensively.
So the Giants with their first base runner, Rowand on at second for Rich Aurelia, who struck out his first time up back in the second inning. Stoltz missing inside, ball 1. So you don't think Jamie Moyer will be around for 51 more victories?
You know, with the way he throws, though, it's not as if, you know, he relies on velocity. He's one of those crafty guys. I think, 46 years old, though.
It's amazing, a guy who was released 4 times early in his career.
Well, and they tried to make him a coach one of those times. But he's a guy that, you know, obviously not blessed with the great physical attributes, but mentally understood the game, understood how to pitch, understands how to pitch. And I'll tell you what, he's got some guts, too. Not afraid to challenge guys, go after him.
The 2-0, Aurelia reaches out and flies out to the right fielder, Ethier, for out number 2. Moving to third is Aaron Rowand. We take you back to our FoxSports.com internet poll question earlier. Should Manny Ramirez play in the All-Star game if elected? 18% of you say yes, 82% say no.
Well, I mean, again, if he's elected, then he should play. It's not as if it's his choice as far as, you know, hey, he's saying, I want to play. No, the fans, if they elect him, are saying, we want to see you play. So I think, really, if anything, if he is elected, he should play because the fans want to see him. If he decided not to play, then again, he's just shunning, you know, the fans. And he can't do that right now. He's got to be giving back as much as he can, acquiescing to the fans as much as he can.
And another point that has been brought up the last couple of days, will Major League Baseball in the future go the way the NFL has on this issue? Prior to last season, the National Football League instituted a new rule barring players from election to the Pro Bowl or receiving awards based on performance in the same season during which they test positive. This coming after Sean Merriman of the San Diego Chargers tested positive for steroids and was suspended for 4 games in the middle of the season in 2006, then was selected to the Pro Bowl later that season. So that will be a question for us to ponder as we check in downstairs with Chris.
Yeah, guys, obviously Manny Ramirez has to repair his public image with the fans. The question I have for Eric Karros is, how does he go about it with his teammates? He has yet to show up to Dodger Stadium since being suspended on Thursday. You know, at some point he's going to have to face these guys, and they're going to go on the road trip starting this Tuesday in Philadelphia and face a whole new batch of questions. So, Eric, at what point does Manny Ramirez owe his teammates an explanation?
Well, I don't know if he owes it, but I think what he does is he needs to come in and just interact with the guys. I mean, there's no real explanation or really even an apology, but he needs to come back in and, talk to the guys, let them know that he's still supporting them. He wants to be a part of the team and, allow his teammates, allow the organization to wrap their arms around him to say, hey, we welcome you back. But he's not even giving the club that opportunity. And I think the longer that goes, then you have some issues.
Payoff pitch to Uribe. Fouls it off. Joe Torre made an interesting point to us, Eric, when we chatted with the Dodgers manager in his office a couple of hours before the game. He talked about how well liked Manny is amongst his teammates, how he goes out of his way to say hello to everybody in the locker room. On a typical game day, goes to every locker, and how much he has helped some of the younger players. A slow roller, Stultz off the mound, fires to first, and that will do it for the Giants in the fifth. We will continue our discussion when we come back. 4-0 Dodgers. Dodgers 4-0. Big day for Juan Pierre.
And doing the same thing he's been doing all year. When he's given an opportunity, he's come in to produce. See 2 doubles, driving in a few runs, setting the table atop that leadoff spot. And he'll have his opportunity with Manny being gone for the 50 games.
Pierre leading off for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the 5th inning and takes a called strike. In the 3 games since the suspension of Ramirez, Juan Pierre is now 5 for 8.
Well, again, he's kept himself prepared. He's been getting some spot starts. He's pinch hit. So it's not as if this has completely caught him off guard or he's not ready for the opportunity.
How about what Joe Torre told us about what a positive Manny has been with the younger players on this Dodger squad?
Well, and that's a thing, too. I mean, the impact he's had with everybody. And this is a younger ball club. The core of this team made up of young players.
Pierre left center. And the catch is made by Lewis, crossing in front of Rowan. So Pierre retired for the first time today. Well, here's what Chipper Jones said following the suspension of Manny Ramirez. You can't have arguably the greatest pitcher of our era, arguably the greatest two players, and now another very, very good player under this cloud of suspicion and not feel like it has ruined it for everybody. But what are you going to do? You can't be born in a different era. It is the steroid era. Chipper obviously referring to Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, Alex Rodriguez, and now Manny Ramirez. As Orlando Hudson sends this one to right center, that drops it between Rowan and Wynn. A stand-up double for Hudson, his second hit of the day.
Well, Hudson gets a pitch out over the plate. He doesn't try to pull it. He decides to go with it. Hits it to right center. In between Aaron Rowan and Randy Wynn. It boxes it a little bit. Hudson into second base. But getting back to Chipper's quote, I think he hit it right on the head. I mean, also having played in the 90s and the early part of this decade, it's frustrating for me as well because, any player that's played during this time does not get the benefit of the doubt. And it's almost as if it's guilty until proven innocent. And how are you going to prove innocence? And it is frustrating, but, it is what it is. I will say this. Not every player took steroids or used growth hormone or participated in PEDs.
Guys, it's Chris Rose, and just to continue that discussion with the stain on the era, what are we going to do when these guys are up for enshrinement into the Hall of Fame? Are we going to have an asterisk for the whole era? Just like, people talk about the dead ball era. People talk about the times players played before African Americans were allowed in the game in 1947. And how are we going to handle this in the future as these big names of Manny Ramirez and Alex Rodriguez and Roger Clemens continue to come up on the ballot into Cooperstown?
Ethier down on strikes, Chris, for the second time. And Eric, piggybacking Chris's question, you talk about guilt before innocence. Do you think the majority of current players and players who played over the last 10 to 15 years would like to see those other 103 names released?
Well, I'm not so sure it really makes a difference because just because those 103 names are released, that doesn't absolve everybody else, and it doesn't mean that those are the only guys. All it does is just foster more discussion. And
Kemp with a base hit off the glove of Uribe. Around third is Hudson heading home. The throw is cut off, and now Kemp is caught in a rundown. Nobody covering first. He dives back in, safe.
Kemp hits this right by Uribe, and you see Freddie Lewis coming up to try to throw Hudson out at the plate. Well, after the play is over, now Benji Molina at home plate has got to go down to first base. You see nobody there at first base. Really a failure on catcher Benji Molina's part.
Fox Saturday Baseball presented by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. A 5-0 lead for the Dodgers. RBI number 23 for Matt Kemp. And your thoughts, Eric, getting back to Chris's question on the Hall of Fame issue.
I think what you do is you pick the greatest players of the respective era. When you try to compare guys that played, now to guys that played in the 50s or the 40s, it's not right. No other sport does that. As far as trying to say, well, this guy did this and this guy. Look, the reality is guys that played in the 30s and the 40s probably wouldn't be playing nowadays. The game is more physical. It's a quicker game. Not to say that the superstars wouldn't be, playing today, but the game evolves. So to try to say, somebody that hit, 350 in 1930 is equivalent to hitting 350 now, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely naive.
Kemp goes, throw from Molina is not in time, and Matt Kemp has his 8th stolen base of the season.
We see Matt Kemp getting a good jump, and he's one of the physical specimens in this game. When I talk about physical specimens, I'm talking about somebody that combines both speed and power. And when he realizes his potential, maximizes his potential, the Dodgers are going to have a superstar on their hands.
And now the Giants will intentionally walk Russell Martin. Matt Kemp, nicknamed the Bison, recruited by the University of Oklahoma to play basketball for the Sooners. Began his major league career with a bang back in 2006. 7 home runs his first 18 days in the major leagues. Look at Matt on the basketball court during his high school days in Oklahoma.
I'm waiting to break out the Kenny Albert hockey tapes from high school.
They do exist.
That's what I'm saying. I'm waiting for those. The old high school days.
See you in San Francisco next week. All right, with runners on first and second and 2 outs, here is James Loney. Loney called out on strikes his last time up. How was your slap shot?
Not too good. Not too good at all. In fact, it was non-existent because there was none. Not a lot of ice rinks in San Diego back in the day.
Long foul down the left field line. Did you attend any San Diego Gulls games?
San Diego Gulls. Boy, you're pulling it out now.
Guys, I was a wicked broomball player in college. You guys ever play that?
Do you combine that with adult beverages, or is that a real sport?
Well, when you're in college, yeah, pretty much. I got to take it. We got to start a Fox Sports intramural broomball team. We'll take on anybody else. I know those other networks. We're pretty good. I like Bradshaw on our team. He's nuts.
Chris, a broomball champion back during his high school days in Cleveland, Ohio.
No, I didn't say I was a champion. I just said we were pretty good. I don't think I've won anything, Kenny.
Except admiration from
I was
us here in the booth.
Waiting for you, pal.
2 on, 2 out. 0-2 to Loney, missing away. How hot is it downstairs, Chris?
How hot is it? It's not nearly as bad as when we were here a few weeks ago. It's low to mid 70s, nice breeze at about 10 to 12 miles an hour. Full 5-day forecast coming up in about the 8th inning.
Loney did not go around, says Sam Holbrook. 2-2. We saw Matt Kemp play basketball. Chris Rose was out watching his kids early this morning.
Yeah.
It's a good dad.
The little guy scored a couple of hoops. It was big.
Are they good broomball players?
Enough with the broomball.
Told it was team photo day as well. Here's the 2-2. Ronnie's on the move. Loney gets the bat on it. In foul territory, Uribe reaches over the railing and makes the catch in front of the Dodgers dugout. The Dodgers add a run after 5. 5-0 Los Angeles. of us. And by Kentucky Grilled Chicken. Get a 2-piece meal for just $3.99 and unthink KFC. Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, Chris Rose from Dodger Stadium.
You know, Kenny, I know it's a 5-0 game in May, but, you know, Uribe coming over to the dugout, you know, as an opposing player, you do not want to get out of the way.
Nice play by Castro, but the throw not in time, so Burris is on.
You see Uribe right there. He comes to the opposing dugout, and if you're a player in that opposing dugout, the last thing you want to do is give the fielder an opportunity to catch the ball. You stay up there on that top step. You see Clayton Kershaw going down the steps, getting out of the way. You don't do that. You make it as difficult without purposely obstructing the fielder as possible so he doesn't make that catch. You allow your hitter an opportunity to drive in the run. I'm telling you, in September, there's no way that's happening. If he does it, he'll get a talking to.
A pinch hitter for Jonathan Sanchez. Eugenio Velez batting for the Giants starter. Velez 2 for 9 as a pinch hitter this season, just 3 for 20 overall. Burris, an infield single leading off the top of the 6th inning for the Giants. And Velez pops it up. Shielding the sun is the first baseman Loney, straddling the line. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Getting back to that play in front of the Dodgers dugout, you would think Kershaw would like the contact. He was a high school football player. In fact, he snapped in high school for the first overall pick in the NFL draft by the Detroit Lions, Matthew Stafford. He was one of the offensive linemen down in Highland Park, Texas.
Yeah, he's a pitcher now, though. He's got to protect that arm.
True.
Getting out of the way. No more of that contact stuff. Just throwing 95 miles an hour with a nasty hook.
One away. Here's Fred Lewis. 0 for 2 today. Takes ball 1. Giants have had only 2 base runners. Eric Stoltz retired the first 13 in the game. Aaron Rowan, the 1-out double in the 5th. The first Giant base runner, and now Emmanuel Burris is on at first following his infield single. Swing and a miss, 1-1 on Lewis.
You know, again, we talk about this Giant offense, and you know, if you're looking at it, you think again, Aaron Rowan, he's going to get better. Randy Wynn is going to get back to his career numbers, but this is a guy for me that can make huge strides, and just his ability to make contact. You know, cut down on the strikeouts, and what that will mean for this ball club, and especially in the leadoff spot. You take advantage of the talent, the speed that he has. There's hitting coach Carney Lansford, great hitter. It's Oakland A's days, early on with the Boston Red Sox as well.
American League batting champ back in '81.
Angels. There's Carney. You know, and the reality is this offense just does not have that big bopper. You know, it doesn't have even guys that are, you know, 25-plus guys. So they have to do little things. They have to put the ball in play. They have to run. And when they're not able to do that, they look lethargic. They look overmatched.
When you break down the Giants' 15 wins this season, 4 of the 15 have been shutout victories, 1-0 and 2-0.
Well, again, I think that's more of a reflection, obviously, of the great pitching that they've had so far. The starters, there's the man that gets the ball tomorrow for the Giants, Tim Lincecum. You know, and that's why this game today is so important for the Dodgers to win, because they will have to face Tim Lincecum. Didn't want to go into a situation where you lose the first 2 games of the series. And you see San Francisco. You know, the lowest ERA in the National League. They've been catching the ball well, but unfortunately they're at the bottom of the heap offensively.
2-2 to Lewis. He gets the bat on it. Shallow left. Coming on after a late start is Pierre. Fred Lewis now 0 for 3. So 2 away here in the top of the 6th inning as we take a look at the Hyundai in-game box score for the Giants. Top 4 in the order. A combined 0 for 9, Rowand and Burris, with the only Giants base hits. Introducing the all-new 306 horsepower rear-wheel drive Hyundai Genesis Coupe.
Eric Stult's doing a great job today. Being pitch efficient, keeping his defense involved, working fast. And I don't believe he's walked the guy yet today.
Fastball missing away. Renteria 0 for 2 today. Stults lasted only 2 2/3 in his last start against the Giants. Less than 2 weeks ago, back on April 29th. Allowed 5 runs on 7 hits. But a different story so far today. Casey Blake. And he's unable to get the force at second. Burris now on his way to third. In standing at second is Renteria. Dodgers thought they were out of the inning, but the Giants now have runners on second and third with Randy Winn coming to the plate.
You know, I think that's going to be an error on Orlando Hudson. He just flat out dropped it, but you know, it's not as easy as it looks. First, the ball's kind of tailing into the runner a little bit, but also probably more importantly is that ball is coming out of the stands over behind third base. And as an infielder at this place, very tough to see the ball in day games. You know, he's saying, look, I just missed it. But again, very difficult. Now, he may have just taken his eye off of it, but also you have to be aware that it's very easy to lose the ball in the infield.
So the 3-time Gold Glove second baseman Hudson commits his second error of the season. Second and third for Randy Winn. Winn 0 for 2 today. And Winn on the first pitch sends it into right center on the run. The catch is made by the center fielder Matt Kemp to retire the Giants. They strand 2, middle of the 6th, 5-0 Dodgers. The fifth inning, Matt Kemp drove in a run, caught in a rundown, Eric, but nobody covering first.
Well, nobody covering first, and you see just getting in there, the outstretched tag of Burris. But that's a situation where Benji Molina, as the catcher with no play at home, needed to be down there covering first base. Wasn't there, and our Flomax shot showed you Matt Kemp getting into first base.
And a new battery mate for Benji Molina here in the sixth inning. It's 31-year-old right-hander Justin Miller coming out of the bullpen in relief of Jonathan Sanchez.
Yeah, a workhorse type of guy. He's going to go up there and eat the middle innings. Not real overpowering, just movement. Tries to move the ball around. Little sinker, a little slider.
Originally drafted by the Rockies. Spent 3 years with the Blue Jays, 2 with the Florida Marlins. 1-2 on Casey Blake. Walked and scored his first time up. Fly to right in the fourth. Dodgers lead 5-0 after losing last night's game 3-1. Looking to get back on track. They've lost 2 straight here at home after winning their first 13 at Dodger Stadium. A called strike 3. So Casey Blake down on strikes as we send it back downstairs to Chris Rose.
All right, Kenny, a DirecTV game break takes us to Philadelphia. Yunel Escobar off of Joe Blanton, a 2-run crank there. The Braves lead it 4-1 in the 7th. If they hang on, the New York Mets will be in first place in the NL East. Follow your favorite out-of-market team only on DirecTV. Kenny.
Thanks, Chris. The New York Mets, who have won 5 in a row. Record of 15-13. Here's Juan Castro. Fastball missing high. Castro doubled in a run back in the second. Fly to left in the fourth.
Talk about the Mets. We'll have a chance to see them next week on Fox as they play the San Francisco Giants. Johan Santana against Randy Johnson. You talk about one of the greatest left-handers to ever toe the hill, and Randy Johnson going against probably the best left-hander, if not the best pitcher in the game now, Johan Santana.
Juan Castro with his second base hit of the day. Making the most of his 4th start of the season.
Dodger pitcher.
We'll look at the probable starters here on Fox next Saturday in San Francisco. We mentioned Randy scheduled to start Monday against Washington. Should he win Monday and then again on Saturday, he would have a chance to win number 300 in Seattle on May 22nd against a place where he had great success.
He did have great success, you know, and a lot of people identify him with Seattle. But for me, as a former player, you know, I look at that run he had in Arizona, 4 consecutive Cy Young awards. He was there in Houston as well, but real dominant in the National League.
One of the other matchups on Fox next Saturday, the Angels and the Rangers. How about Texas leading the American League West with a record of 16-13?
You know, and how about that guy on the far left, the Andrew Jones, who Dodger fans saw a little bit last
year. Stoltz able to move the runner Castro over to second on the sacrifice.
You know, and I say Andrew Jones, they saw a little bit last year, just had a real dismal season. Looked like his career was over. Went down, signed a minor league contract with Texas after the Dodgers released him. And he seemed to have found his stroke, hit .340, seemed to have resurrected his career, at least early on this season.
So a surprising start for the Texas Rangers. Red Sox and Blue Jays tied atop the American League East. Kansas City Royals lead the Central at 18-12. And how about the start Zach Greinke has gotten off to this season?
Yeah, unbelievable, going after his 7th victory today. But I mean, it's not just about wins. It's about the ERA, the strikeouts, the hits. I mean, he's at the top in just about every category. And you know, this is a guy who a few years ago was ready to give up the game.
Greinke and the Royals visiting the Angels tonight. 1-1 on Juan Pierre. Greinke with an earned run average of 0.4. Lowest ERA to start a season, 6-0. Walter Johnson back in 1913, and Fernando Valenzuela with the Dodgers in 1981. Fernando, of course, now works in the Dodgers Spanish radio booth.
Right next door with Hall of Famer on Fernando's right, Jaime Jarrín.
Two on Pierre, who has doubled twice. Drove in a couple of runs back in the second inning. World Championship trophy from the 1981 season. Pop foul to the left side. One of the Dodger coaches during that championship season in 81 passed away on Thursday at the age of 85. Danny Ozark, former manager of the Phillies, played in the Dodgers system. Began his managerial career in Wichita Falls, one of the Dodger affiliates, way back in 1956. A Dodger coach under both Walter Alston and Tommy Lasorda. So we send our condolences to the family of Danny Ozark as Pierre flies out to Aaron Rowan in center. 31 years in the Dodgers organization. Former manager of the Giants as well. Baseball presented by Taco Bell from Dodger Stadium. Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, Chris Rose. Dodgers leading the Giants 5-0 as we move to the seventh. Dodgers starter Eric Stoltz has faced just 3 batters above the minimum so far over the first 6 innings.
Well, he's really done a great job, and not to take away from his pitching, but I think that those 4 runs that the Dodger offense scored early in the game has allowed him to be more aggressive, to not have to pitch like every pitch can turn the game. And I think that's one of the important aspects of this Dodger offense, is what it's allowed the pitching staff to do by scoring runs early, scoring often. And they're going to have to continue to do that in the absence of Manning, so their pitching staff can continue to thrive.
Joe Torre made an interesting point during our interview earlier as far as the absence of Manny. Here's the 1-2 to Molina. He said from a player's standpoint, the players have to look at it as if Manny is out with an injury.
Well, it doesn't matter why he's out. If I'm a player on that ball club, I'm looking at it as an opportunity. It's an opportunity for me to go out and have an opportunity to play every day if I'm Juan Pierre. It's an opportunity if I'm one of the younger guys to say, you know what, we're pretty darn good ball players here. We're not just all about Manny Ramirez. Andre Ethier, Matt Kemp, James Loney, the Russell Martin. These guys offensively are very good ball players and are on the upswing. And it isn't just all about one guy.
Two balls, two strikes. Molina at the plate. Aaron Rowan waiting on deck.
We see Aaron Rowan, we see Benji Molina. One of the guys we haven't seen yet today that an integral part of this offense. Pablo Sandoval had an opportunity to catch last night. Gave Benji a night off. Plays a little third base as well. But has really swung the bat well for the Giants this year.
Molina down on strikes. Third strikeout for Eric Stultz. Well, Fox Sports is proud to support the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research. The Michael J. Fox Foundation's goal is to drive the development of better treatments and a cure for Parkinson's. To learn more, please visit michaeljfox.org. Look at the pins that we were wearing during our open, as well as all of the other Fox Saturday baseball broadcasters. Chris Rose downstairs in support of the Michael J. Fox Foundation. Aaron Rowan doubled back in the fifth inning, the first base runner for the Giants after Stultz had retired 13 in a row.
You see Aaron Rowan, a Bears fan, but from around here, Southern California, played at Cal State Fullerton. Real hard-nosed player. Played with the White Sox and had some great years with the Philadelphia Phillies. He's a guy that, we talk about this Giant offense that, he's not going to hit 221. At least the Giants are hoping he doesn't hit 221 all year. And the type of player is he will be productive. He's going to have the 20-plus home runs, 20 home runs. He'll hit you about 280.
Rowan called out on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the seventh inning for Stultz.
Well, Stultz doing a masterful job of moving the ball around the plate. Not only is he throwing it outside, inside, but he's hitting corners. He's hitting the strike zone. It's not as if it's 3 inches outside and 3 inches inside. He's had great control. You see this pitch. That's, as a hitter, there's not anything you can do with that. If a pitcher can throw it in that spot as a hitter, you just tip your cap. You say, hey, I'll get you next time. As long as you don't throw me that pitch.
He's thrown 89 pitches so far today. His longest outing of the season. Went 5 2/3 in his last start. A win over the Diamondbacks on Monday. Aurelia into right center. Catch is made by Kemp. It's seventh inning stretch time here at Dodger Stadium. Cadouette by AT&T, your world delivered. And by Carfax. Free at your used car dealer. Just say, show me the Carfax. Dodgers over the Giants, 5-0. As we head to the bottom of the 7th inning, Orlando Hudson will lead off for the Dodgers. And we take you back to November of 2004 in Orlando's hometown of Darlington, South Carolina.
Driver, start your engine.
Orlando Hudson, the honorary starter for the Darlington 200 in the NASCAR Truck Series back in 2004. Tonight, NASCAR on Fox goes under the lights in Darlington as Kyle Busch will try and defend his title against a full field of the world's best drivers. Coverage of Sprint Cup Series racing from Darlington begins tonight at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific in high definition right here on Fox. Do you think Orlando will be tuning in?
I'm guessing, yeah, he will. He may even say it in his living room. Start your engines!
Juan Pierre and Orlando Hudson helped start the Dodgers' engines today back in the bottom of the 1st inning when they both reached base. First 2 Dodger hitters led to the first run of the game. Dodgers added 3 in the 2nd. Castro with an RBI double. Pierre with a 2-run double. And the Dodgers lead the Giants 5-0.
Well, and, again, getting back to Orlando Hudson, what a great sign by general manager Ned Colletti. I mean, you get him for a little over $3 million guaranteed. You're getting an all-star second baseman. You're getting a guy that is healthy. There's Ned right there, the architect of this ball club. Done a great job not only assembling this team, but of keeping the young players, not giving up much, to put together this ball club. He's kept the Ethier, the Kemp, the Loney, the Billingsley, the Broxton, and these guys will prove to be the core, the cornerstone of this club as it goes forward.
Three Giants converging in foul territory in left field. A sliding attempt by Lewis, but Hudson stays alive. Orlando Hudson heavily involved in charity work as well.
How y'all doing? Hey, so y'all don't mind if I read for a few minutes to you? The letter A? Okay. The letter A in baseball is for anthem.
Orlando taking some time to visit Loma Alta Elementary School back on April 24th.
Well, as that showed, very involved in a lot of charitable endeavors.
Uribe with the throw to beat the speedy Hudson, 1 away.
But as I said, his personality fits right in with this ball club needs. He's an excellent player, excellent off the field, great community guy, and he's really embraced this early on experience in LA. He's never had an opportunity to play in a major market. It's been Toronto, it's been Arizona. Now he is in LA. And he will get to be able to display, to all the fans what he brings to the park day in and day out.
Said he really does enjoy playing under the spotlight. You mentioned the 4 years in Toronto and then 3 years as a member of the Arizona Diamondbacks, getting a chance to do it on the big stage. Ethier has struggled at the plate today. Grounded into a double play back in the 1st inning, which did score a run, and he has struck out twice. Justin Miller working his 2nd inning in relief of Jonathan Sanchez, who went 5, allowing 5 runs on 6 hits, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts.
For me, Andre Ethier is the real key to this Dodger offense while Manny is out. He's gone out there. He's been great with Manny in the lineup. So he can do it. He's got the physical ability. The only thing that ever restricts Andre Ethier and his success is his frustration with himself. Joe Torre has talked to him about it. He's tried to make him understand that this is a long season. He can't live and die with every at-bat. And if he doesn't have the initial success, doesn't play well, continue the success that he's had, while Manny was in the lineup, then you just wonder if he starts to doubt himself. And that's something that the Dodgers have to avoid. And that'll be Joe Torre's, one of the many things that he's going to have to do with Manny gone.
Two and two now on Ethier. Matt Kemp waiting on deck. 5-0 Dodgers, bottom of the 7th inning. Juan Pierre chatting with Orlando Hudson. They have combined for 4 of the 7 Dodger hits today. Another foul off to the left side.
See Eric Stultz in there. Casey Blake to his right. Clayton Kershaw to Stultz left. But what a great effort he's turned out up to this point. Give him 7 great innings.
Another foul off to the left side.
Now he's a guy too that started the year in the minor leagues. I mean, there's 2 pitchers in this rotation that started in Albuquerque. Eric Stultz, Jeff Weaver, who throws tomorrow. And Hiroki Kuroda out. Not sure when he'll be back.
On the ground to the second baseman, Burris. 2 away. Well, tonight down in Anaheim, it will be Zach Greinke going for his 7th win of the season, 5-0 in April. Pepsi, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball, congratulates Zach, who the fans have voted as April's MLB Clutch Performer of the Month. Presented by Pepsi. A shutout on Monday night. His 6th win. Learn more about the MLB Clutch Performer of the Month award at PepsiClutch.com. Zach Greinke, 6-0. Cover of Sports Illustrated last week. First Kansas City Royal on the cover since Bo Jackson back in 1989.
Well, a lot of people wondering why he was offered a multi-year deal last year. And obviously the Royals knew what they were doing. A young talent that a few years ago was ready to walk away from the game, and have an opportunity to possibly see him in that All-Star game Tuesday, July 14th on Fox in St. Louis.
Molina to first. A 1-2-3 7th for Justin Miller. Today by Eric Stultz as we move to the 8th. He has shut out the Giants so far on only 2 base hits.
Well, he's done a great job, and from the get-go, the Dodger offense provided him a cushion. He was able to go out, be aggressive, move the ball around, and he's shown great control.
Bottom of the order, Juan Uribe leads off here in the 8th. He has rounded out twice today. Dodgers looking to extend to a 5.5 game lead in the National League West. And Eric, you talked about the other teams in the division feeling that perhaps they can make a run now in the absence of Manny Ramirez here in Los Angeles. 1-2 on Uribe. And one of the Dodgers division rivals made a managerial change early yesterday as Bob Melvin was replaced in Arizona by 34-year-old A.J. Hinch.
An interesting move. The people in Arizona throughout baseball recognize A.J. Hinch as, somebody from the management standpoint as an up-and-comer, somebody that will make an impact. I'm not so sure a lot of people saw him as a manager at this age, but the reality is something needed to be done over there in Arizona. They feel like they have the right people in place as far as talent. A team that's assembled by Josh Burns, and they just haven't performed up to the level that they had hoped.
You saw Ronald Belisario and Will Oman up in the Dodgers pen. Belisario on the left, Oman on the right. The 2-2 from Stultz to Uribe, popped up to the right side. Orlando Hudson makes the catch, one away. Eric Stultz retired the first 13 Giants today. Has allowed only 3 base runners.
Well, he's done a great job. And again, I think the Dodger offense, getting him that early lead, he's been able to work both sides of the plate. He's kept the Giant hitters off balance. 7 shutout innings. You see Juan Pierre leading that offensive charge. And the Giant hitters, 1 through 4, have yet to get a hit.
Our Hulu game summary. 0-1 on Boris. Boris with his second hit of the day. Our game summary that you just saw brought to you by Hulu. An evil plot to destroy the world. Enjoy Hulu, a website which allows people to watch streaming video of network shows and movies.
I'm going to have to look into that.
Your attention, please.
Hulu. Check it out. A 1-out single off the bat of Burris. He has 2 of the 3 Giants hits. Osiris Matos up in the Giants pen. And a pinch hitter for the pitcher Justin Miller, Nate Schierholtz. 0-1. Schierholtz batting .273, 5 for 9. Off the bench this season. Dodgers lead 5-0. Top of the 8th inning here in Los Angeles. Getting back to the new manager of the Diamondbacks, A.J. Hinch, for a second. We mentioned he's 34 years of age. Youngest manager in the major leagues since Tony La Russa. A 34-year-old Tony La Russa took over the White Sox back in 1979.
Things have worked out all right for that guy, huh?
You think?
He's still around, isn't he?
Ripped foul down the right field line. A.J. Hinch played at Stanford, member of the 1996 U.S. Olympic team. Played for 4 major league clubs, the A's, the Royals, the Tigers, and the Phillies. He becomes the 10th former major league catcher currently managing the 30 ball clubs, including 2 in this game. Both Joe Torre and Bruce Bochy, former catchers. So 10 of the 30 active managers were catchers in the major leagues. As Schierholtz goes down on strikes, you saw Will Oman up and throwing in the Dodgers pen. He's also wearing a microphone for us today. Let's listen.
Can't win with that thing.
Say again?
You can't win with that thing on.
What do you mean?
I'm going to go ahead and put gum on our bullpen catcher's head. You guys want to catch that on camera?
Hey, everybody. Harry Carey here. I'm here with reliever.
Will, a former teammate of yours with the Chicago Cubs.
Yep. Does a pretty darn good Harry Carey impersonation. With Atlanta last year, he introduced the lineup for Fox. Harry Carey, pretty good.
0-2 on Lewis. 106 pitches for Stultz. He's allowed no runs, only 3 base hits. Has not walked about it. Has struck out 5.
And you see big Jonathan Broxton moving around out there. The closer, the fine closer. I mean, he's been absolutely dominant this year. Taking over for Takashi Saito last year.
Maloney takes it to the bag himself. 5-0 Dodgers, middle of the 8th. Sponsored by Pepsi. Every generation refreshes the world. By DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. And by Just for Men. Stay in the game with Just for Men hair color. 5-0 Dodgers. As we welcome you back. Some changes for the Giants. Randy Wynn moves to left field. Nate Shearholtz stays in the game in right. And the new pitcher is 24-year-old right-hander Osiris Matos, his 8th year in the Giants organization, making his 4th appearance of the season.
Going to come right at you. Nothing real exciting. A good arm, a fastball slider.
$2-0 on Russell Martin, who has walked in all 3 plate appearances today. The last time intentional. The 2-0 from Matos, catching the outside corner. 2-1 as we check in downstairs with Chris.
Yeah, guys, there's probably a few people out there that are still scrambling for Mother's Day gifts for tomorrow. Well, Russell Martin got his mom one earlier this year. The back of his jersey these days, it's not R. Martin, it is J. Martin. That's for Suzanne Jeanson, his mom. As he lets a fly ball out to right, it's going to fall. So there's a nice little gift for mom. Now, Russell's full name is Russell Nathan Coltrane Jeanson Martin, if you are following at home. So a nice little gift for Mom.
I would think that's one of the ultimate gifts, wearing the initial of your mom's last name on your jersey.
Hey, you don't hear that very often, and I think it extends back to his upbringing. Father in and out of his life, but his mom playing a very important role, and he just wanted to acknowledge her.
So a leadoff single off the bat of Martin here in the bottom of the 8th inning. James Loney 0 for 3 today. Fastball missing inside as we go back downstairs to Chris.
Yeah, in honor of Mother's Day tomorrow, guys, breast cancer awareness. So this is the 5th straight year they're going to be using these great little pink bats. A handful of players on each team, including Russell Martin, will be using these tomorrow. They'll have their names out there. And over the 5 years, Major League Baseball has raised $1 million for breast cancer research. Obviously, nice job by MLB over the last few years on that.
Wow, terrific job. Youngster bringing her pink glove to the game this afternoon. And we will see many of those pink bats around the Major League ballparks tomorrow on Mother's Day. 2-0 to Loney, missing away, 3 balls, no strikes.
A lot of the guys that use those bats that have success, whether it's hitting a home run or getting a few hits, typically you want to use that bat again and again and again because you feel like it's good luck for you. And, but it's a one-day thing. You use it, and what they'll do is they'll auction the bats off, try to raise money. It really is, you mentioned, a great gesture in Major League Baseball.
And a great gesture by Russell Martin. As Chris explained moments ago, Martin takes his lead off first as Loney fouls it back to the screen. Full count. Dodgers scored a run in the first, 3 in the second, added a run in the 5th. A couple of doubles and 2 runs batted in for Juan Pierre. Matt Kemp and Juan Castro have also driven in runs. Eric Stultz, 8 shutout innings. Payoff pitch to Loney. Gets a piece of it. The Hyundai in-game box score for the Dodgers. 2 hits for Pierre, 2 hits for Orlando Hudson. Juan Castro as well doing a nice job off the bench today, giving Rafael Furcal an afternoon off. Introducing the all-new 306 horsepower rear-wheel drive Hyundai Genesis Coupe. Benji Molina out for a chat with Matos.
Yeah, not really sure that this is a chat with Matos as much as it's
a lecture.
No, not even a lecture. It's him buying some time. He took a ball right off the left arm right there. He's not ready to go, and it was a foul tip. So typically what a catcher will do is go out there, try and kill some time till the sting goes away. I don't know if he was out there talking so much about the pitch, he's saying, Jesus, catching thing, man. Got to be killing me back here.
Molina had the night off last night. Back behind the plate today. Martin goes, and Loney lifts it foul. So Martin will head back to first base.
Are you talking about catchers, whether Russell Martin or Benji Molina? I mean, both these guys also are good offensive players. And the bang and the wear and tear they take behind the plate, for them to go out and be good offensive players just speaks volumes of their ability. I mean, it's hard enough to go up and hit when you're healthy. When you're hurting and you're not feeling good, it's that much more difficult, yet these guys go out there day in and day out and have success.
Martin on the move, and Loney pops it up to the left side in foul territory. Uribe has room. 1 away. Well, MLB and People Magazine are looking for individuals who have made a difference in their community. 30 everyday All-Stars will be honored at the 2009 All-Star Game in St. Louis. To nominate, go to peopleallstars.com. And what a job by the crews combating the fires in the Santa Barbara area.
I mean, I'll tell you what, the firefighters have been hard at work in the last year here in Southern California. Appreciate their efforts.
Fastball in for a called strike. 0-1 on Casey Blake. Some incredible images. And again, we salute the men and women who have been battling the fires in the Santa Barbara area. 1 out, bottom of the 8th inning. 0-2 on Blake. Martin, the runner, on first. Dodgers with a 5-0 lead. Dodgers have lost their last 2 to Washington and San Francisco. Dodgers have not lost 3 consecutive games all season. Off to their best start after 31 games since 1983, when they started 22-9.
But again, I think a real important game today for Joe Torre's ball club. And I say that as you look at Andre Ethier, just because a 4.5 game lead over San Francisco. They lose today, it's 3.5. You have to face Tim Lincecum tomorrow. It could be 2.5. And then you have to start dealing with all the questions. Oh, how are you going to be without Manny? There's Tim Lincecum. But again, it looks as if they will be able to win this ball game. They go to 5.5 and have a chance to extend it to 6.5 or at worst 4.5 after tomorrow.
Uribe bobbled it. The throw across is high. Everybody's safe. Uribe had trouble with the ground ball off the bat of Blake, and then a high throw to Aurelia. Dodgers with first and second, and only 1 out.
Oh, you see, he just closes his glove right before the ball gets in there, and then tries to throw to first, and has a bit of a hurried throw. Now, the Giants have played well defensively, and that's one of the reasons why they have a record above 500. They've been able to pitch the ball and catch it. So uncharacteristic of this Giants ball club.
Second error today. Coming into the game, Giants had only committed 10 errors over their first 28 games. Here's Juan Castro's had a nice day in just his 5th start of the year. A couple of hits, including an RBI double back in the 2nd inning. And Eric Stultz has come out into the on-deck circle to bat for himself.
Well, Joe Torre giving him an opportunity to go for that complete game shutout. There's Joe. Bob Schaefer to his left.
Castro with his 3rd hit of the game. Coming in to score is Martin, rounding third, and then heading back is Blake. So Juan Castro with his 3rd hit today, his 2nd double, and his 2nd run batted in. Dodgers now lead 6-0.
Well, one of the reasons for the Dodgers' early season success has been the ability of the guys off the bench when they do fill in to be productive, whether it's Juan Castro at shortstop, Mark Loretta at first base or third base, Juan Pierre out in the outfield, Brad Ausmus behind the plate. The Dodgers haven't missed a beat. And you see, when you got guys coming off the bench that are productive, it makes your team that much deeper and stronger.
Infield in now with Stultz at the plate. Sacrificed his last time up. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Stultz swinging away, a base hit into right field. Blake comes home. And for Eric Stultz, his 4th career run batted in, helping his own cause. The Dodgers lead is now 7-0.
And this day has been all about Eric Stultz. He's had the sacrifice. He drives in a run with a line shot. And oh, by the way, he's pitching a shutout. So he's really come to play today. He's had a great afternoon. He'd like nothing more than to finish it off with a complete game.
First hit of the season for Stultz. Drives in a run. And now Juan Pierre, who has 2 doubles and 2 runs batted in today. And Pierre on the first pitch down the left field line. It's a fair ball. Coming in to score is Castro. Third run of the inning. It's now 8-0 Dodgers. 3 runs batted in today for Juan Pierre, doubling his season total. He had 3 coming into the day.
Well, having an opportunity to come up with some guys on base, you see Dave Righetti going out trying to calm down his pitcher. And this ball out over the plate. Juan Pierre just putting the bat on the ball. You know, and that's the difference. You look at the Dodger leadoff hitter and Juan Pierre, you compare him to Fred Lewis, the San Francisco Giant leadoff hitter. Both guys that have speed, but the difference, Juan Pierre makes contact. He gives himself an opportunity. Doesn't strike out much, willing to put the ball in play. You know, I think that's a marked difference, obviously, between these 2 ball clubs.
Juan Pierre now 3 for 5 with 3 runs batted in. First and second, 1 out for Orlando Hudson. And you think back to the Casey Blake at bat, Giants could have been out of this inning had they turned 2. Uribe had trouble with the ground ball and tried to get the out at first, but nice throw. Blake was safe, and the inning continues.
Well, and you got to do 2 of the 3 things every day. When I say 2 of the 3 things, I'm talking about hitting, defense, and pitching. And right now, the Giants are doing none of the 3.
On the ground to the right side, Aurelia gets the force at second for the second out. We welcome those of you who have been watching the Atlanta Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies. Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, Chris Rose from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. Dodgers over the Giants by an 8-0 score here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Dodgers lost their first 2 games without Manny Ramirez. Lead 8-0 today. Eric Stultz, 8 shutout innings, has helped his own cause. Drove in a run moments ago. Dodgers have scored 3 here in the 8th. There's Stultz on at third. Andre Ethier at the plate. The audience that just joined us from Philadelphia can only stay with us for about 20 minutes due to contractual obligations. But the Dodgers in a rout, leading the Giants 8-0. Dodgers scored a run in the first, 3 in the second. As Ethier lifts it into left field, Randy Wynn is under it. And the 8th inning finally comes to an end. Stultz will come out and pitch the 9th. 8-0 Dodgers. Hold leaders from this season. Just as these players keep their team in the game, you too can stay in the game with Just for Men hair color. No need for a hold today. Dodgers leading 8-0 as Eric Stultz comes out to pitch the ninth. And Edgar Renteria takes a called strike. A new right fielder, Xavier Paul, who is the player recalled by the Dodgers following the Manny Ramirez suspension 2 days ago. 1-1. Eric Stultz, one career complete game shutout. That was last June 25th against the White Sox, a 4-hit shutout. Threw a career high 116 pitches in that game. This is his 110th pitch today, and it's ball 2.
I think it's a situation where one guy gets on. You know, Joe probably comes out and takes Stultz out, just giving him an opportunity to go for that complete game shutout. See Guillermo Mota to
2-2 on Renteria. Stultz has allowed 3 base hits. Only 4 Giants have reached base today. He has not walked a batter. 2 hits for Burris, 1 for Rowan. Renteria reached on a Hudson error his last time up. The 2-2 from Stultz. Grounded foul back behind third.
Well, I think that you pointed out no walks, and that's really the important thing for Eric Stultz. If he's around the plate throwing strikes, forces the hitter to go after pitches, I mean, that's when he is effective. But when he's erratic, falls behind, that's when he gets himself into trouble.
Full count. Dodgers did not have a complete game from a starting pitcher this season. They do have 2 combined shutouts. And the payoff pitch is ripped. It's a fair ball. 4th hit of the game for the Giants as Renteria heads into second standing.
Left fielder, Randy Wynn.
Joe Torre remains in the Dodger dugout as Randy Wynn steps to the plate.
He was talking with pitching coach Rick Honeycutt, and he was sitting on the bench, and now he's moved up to the rail. Would you believe maybe one more hitter?
Randy Wynn 0 for 3 today. And Wynn swinging at the first pitch. Matt Kemp moving to his left. 1 away. Terrific job by our entire crew today here in Los Angeles, led by our producer Larry Lancaster, director Jim Lynch, associate director Wayne Wilson, broadcast associate Matt Saldana, our technical producer Rod Conti. Pregame show produced by Don Bowie here at Dodger Stadium today, along with Chris Rose. The highlights coordinator is Janice Casaza. The studio technical supervisor Jack Simmons. The supervisor of remote field operations is Jerry Steinberg. The senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. And the executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. Ben Boma and Dennis D'Agostino crunching the numbers for us today as Benji Molina takes a called strike from Eric Stultz, 0-1. And Stultz has matched his career high, 116 pitches so far today. Here's number 117. Strike 2, 0-2 on Molina.
You talk about the pitches, but he's shown no signs of any type of fatigue. Still has the control, able to move the ball around, can throw any type of pitch, fastball, off speed. It's one of those days where he's in the zone.
The 0-2 from Stultz. Again, a fly ball, center field, long run for Kemp. He makes, he dropped it. Looked like it deflected off his glove. He made the catch. An acrobatic catch by Matt Kemp in center field. Fooled us.
Yeah, he got a good jump, and it didn't look like he was going after it as fast as he could. You see him kind of go, and then he turns on the afterburners, makes that diving catch, and gets it in. You see, not completely outstretched, but a nice catch nonetheless. Turns around and gets it in. Eric Stoltz pumped. That shutout still alive. And get in the face. One more hitter.
So the Giants down to their final out as Aaron Rowan steps in. Rowan had the first Giants hit today after Stoltz retired the first 13. A double back in the 5th inning. Eric Stoltz making the 20th start of his major league career. He has 7 career victories, 8 losses, looking for his second complete game shutout. Renteria, a leadoff double here in the 9th. The 1-1 to Rowan, missing away, 2-1.
You know, he's done a great job today. What'll be interesting for me is to watch what he does his next start. You see Randy Wynn on the bench, Randy Johnson at forefront, but Eric Stoltz, you know, going almost 9 innings, possible complete game, the elevated pitch count. You know, how will he respond his next start?
Giants now down to their final strike. Dodgers won their first 13 at home. They lost their last 2. 1 strike away from a victory on a Saturday afternoon. The third baseman, Blake, with the throw across, and Eric Stoltz pitches a complete game, 4-hit shutout of the San Francisco Giants.